Hey, it's video time, and just like with any video time, that's about your time. Your cat has decided to jump up there and take over the keyboard, and there she goes laying down. So, what I'd like to talk about as far as when it comes to magic, whenever you go see a magician, you wonder often, think about how he did it or how she did it, was able to do the trick that they did. How did they get out of those chains? How did they guess this or that? How did they make that card come up? And we all just go ahead and think it's a trick. And then you have another type of magic where you say words and maybe mix some things together and hocus pocus, but nobody believes in that. And then there comes the supernatural part. And that's where we throw in things that we cannot explain. We just go ahead and put a supernatural explanation on them. And why don't instead we go ahead and put that on the magician instead, and call it good. He supernaturally did the trick he did. But the reason why we don't is because we already know from past experiences that a magician uses tricks. As far as tricks of the trade of how to distract you over here while he does something else with his other hand, or what you think is a solid ball is actually a foam ball, and he's able to crush it down and move it between his hands and pull it from your ear. Same thing with the coin. It's not actual supernatural magic. There's a reason for it. So the reason why we don't give it a supernatural meaning or supernatural explanation is because we know it's not really supernatural. Same thing goes for religion. We've had many religions of the past. All of them cannot actually be proven or disproven, but what we have found is that people move from one religion to the next. So all those old religions of the past are gone. And one of my arguments that I usually do, people when they're writing to me on Facebook and everything, they're talking about Jesus and everything, you always throw out the Odin remark. And Odin was a god. And if you saw the Avengers, or not the Avengers, but Thor, you got to see Odin, who's the father of Thor. And Odin swore that he would get rid of all the ice giants, and Jesus said that he would get rid of all the wicked men. Well, we don't see any ice giants around, so Odin must have existed. And since Thor is his son, we can go ahead and safely assume that he's a god also, and that they both should be worshipped for the thing they did. They got rid of all the ice giants. Good thing they did, because they could be around right now causing havoc around the world. But there are plenty of wicked people, or people that we would consider to be wicked people, even within the United States itself, much less, in other foreign countries, which is basically how we as Americans kind of see that we are just and right, and Jesus is on our side. And for one of the examples I'd like to throw out there is the towers. They came down, and out of all of that, miraculously, somehow, a cross was there. A lot of people see this as a sign, as a miracle. The cross was actually blessed and moved to the 9/11 memorial site. Now consider that the buildings, 2 of them, were made with a lot of cross beams in there. There are other cross beams that survived, but were not like a perfect cross as this one was, sitting up through the rubble. So everybody automatically assumes that God must be on our side, or that he was there while those people were suffering, and he was there for them and helped them pass along to the next plane of existence, is how some people kind of believe this. The Westboro Baptist Church, on the other hand, the great and wonderful people that they are, I've actually got to see. They live in Topeka, not too far from here, but go by their place, and there's the Rainbow House right on the other side. now. That's great and wonderful to see, but to actually speak with them is sometimes kind of hard. Typically drive by and just honk and give them the finger, but you got to think about it that they are reading the same Bible that other people are, but they're just the way they interpret it and how they act is going to be a lot different. And their whole idea behind their plan is that the 9/11 attacks happened for a reason, and it was cause America to go to war so that the soldiers would go over there and we would get blown up, come back with horrible injuries. And this was all based upon allowing homosexuality within our country. Not that it existed anyways before, but now we was at a point where we were accepting it, considering the marriages of equality, that it was a civil rights issue. And this goes for the lesbians also, but in the Bible it doesn't say anything about women laying with women. It just mentions men laying with men or men with beasts. So lesbians, thumbs up. So those are some of the things that I just going through my mind when it came to the magician, the supernatural, and how we kind of see those things as they happen. Was the towers a supernatural event orchestrated by God according to the Westboro Baptist Church to get American soldiers to go overseas so we get hit by IEDs, get maimed, get killed, so that God could make his point that he was upset with America about homosexuality, or that the Westboro Baptist Church had figured out this is the reasoning behind the soldiers getting killed is because of the bombs, and that this needed to happen in order for everybody to understand what was going on. So that's my thought for tonight. Have a good evening. It is now raining outside and it's supposed to get a little sleet tomorrow. So off to work I go in the morning, and hopefully it's a good day. So like at this point, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, thumbs down, possibly a comment, things like that. So take it easy. Catch you later. E pluribus unum.
Rondo's got what? Thanks, Crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?